Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwander and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the pleasure of meeting with Steve Osborne. He's the CEO of Top Gun Sales Performance. Steve, you gave a terrific presentation today at Sales 2.0 and you talked about sales competency management.
Thank you.
Can you explain how this is different from other sales approaches?
Sure. So sales competency management is a very disciplined approach to growing the people that grow your revenue. It's fairly straightforward. There's, if you will, 4 building blocks to it. The first one is by defining what good looks like inside of your organization. So that's capturing best sales practices, best key messages, and codifying those. The second is by building learning around that model, around what good is. The third is then learning, but moving past learning, moving past training, and focusing on certification. So getting your people not only to know that information, but to be able to execute on that information. And the last of which is coaching your coaches to coach. Coaching is absolutely critical in sales competency management, and is, if you will, it's the fulcrum that actually drives or levers the complete sales competency management model.
So what about training? How does that fit in? Are you for or against training?
So of course everybody's for training and for learning. We're kind of against what the typical or historical approach to training has been. So all too often sales organizations, because they're sales organizations, they're not human resource development organizations, look at training kind of as an event, and they focus on that event. And the event, if you will, the training event becomes what it's all about, not necessarily the learning. So they focus on the event and they work on the event to get the event done, to be able to check the box and say, I've trained my people. And really, training's not the important thing. The important thing is the actual capturing of that information and the ability to execute on that.
So what are you saying? Shift from training to certification?
Absolutely. Don't focus on training anymore. Focus on certification. You'll get a whole lot more out of it.
So another part of your presentation dealt with coaching.
Yes.
So let's say you certify them. That's not a graduation. You want to continue the process and coach them, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the whole sales competency management model, coaching, again, is by far the most important. The ability for an organization to coach their coaches to coach. Because what happens is after the learning event, after the training event, your reps are going to go back into the field, and their interaction on a daily basis is going to be their first line manager. That interaction with that manager is either going to advance your training investment or it's going to erode your training investment. Imagine, right, you're back in the field. Your sales manager is really going to drive your daily activity. So that reinforcement is either going to come from that coach every day or the opposite's going to happen, and he's going to erode your investment in your training efforts. So coaching is critical.
So if somebody watches this video and wants to take action on sales competency management, what would be the next step?
Well, as I said before, you can go through the 4 items that we outlined, right? First of all, which is capture, define success, define good, right? Capture your best practices and codify that for your organization. A lot of people miss that step. Second is build your curriculum around that, and also realize that it's not going to just be a 2-hour or a 1-day thing. This is a learning environment. This is something that's going to go on for a while. The third of which, right, is then focus on that certification. And then the last is coaching your coaches to coach. Now, that's the simple 4-step outline. There's documents and supporting technologies that go around all of that. We at Top Gun, we actually give away most of that stuff for free just for asking. So if you'd like an outline, a competency management list, an attributes list, tools and general approach, just go to our website, www.topgunhq.com. Just go to contact us and say, hey, can I have your competency management stuff? Or you can do the same thing by email at info@topgunhq.com. We'd be more than happy to send it to you.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Gerhard, so good to see you again. Congratulations. And you did a fantastic keynote yourself at 2.0, and I would highly recommend that everybody watch that video too, because I mean, it was fantastic.
Thank you very much.